How's it going, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This video is going to be continuing my reviews for the DC direct to DVD releases. This one's going to be of Batman, The Dark Knight Returns, Part 2. Okay, so this is going to be released on January 29th, 2013, so it'll be out in a couple weeks. It is out already on torrents, and to be honest, I did watch it from there. However, I do purchase the DVDs as well, or Blu-ray as well for it, just because I collect, as you can see, I collect superhero stuff. So don't worry, I'm not one of those guys who just watches it and doesn't buy it after. I do buy it after, but wanted to do a review of it pretty much as soon as I watched it. Even if it's 4 a.m. in the morning after I saw it, but which is right now. But it was that good that I can't wait until tomorrow to just talk about it, do a review, because, man, it is amazing. If you guys have not seen the first part, part 1 of The Dark Knight Returns, direct-to-DVD release, which came out in September, I believe, 2012. Pretty sure, or October, one of the two. And I did a review for that one too. I'll put the review for that in the description, the link for that. And in it, I said it basically was a masterpiece. And I feel like this one too, it's the same. I mean, it's literally continuing that story, and it's doing it with the exact same type of quality, the exact same, sound, effects, visuals. The voice acting is still just as good. I mean, everything about it is just spot on. And I think the best part about it is that now that it's been released, there's really no reason, at least for me, to go back and read the comic book version. This just takes that story and brings it to life. I didn't derive the same kind of feeling reading the graphic novel, which is one of the best Batman graphic novels ever. This is one of the best Batman stories ever written, ever illustrated, anything. And I really didn't derive that kind of feeling from the graphic novel as I have from watching the direct-to-DVD releases. They're just amazing. You don't get the same kind of feeling out of when on the page when you see Batman punch somebody or whatever, and it looks powerful or whatever, just in that frame in the comic book. But in here, they just bring it to life so well. So where you have scenes in this where Batman will punch somebody, really hard, and it just rocks you, the bass of the sound effect and everything, and it just sounds so powerful when he breaks through things, or when you have him and Superman going out and they're just punching each other, just punches them right in the face, and it just, man, it's amazing. It really is, and that happens so many times in the story. And you get the scenes with the Joker near the beginning where he's fighting against Batman, and he pulls out his knives, or he's got several knives. Pulls out one of his knives, a knife, and he's slashing at Batman, or he's stabbing him. There's one point in this where you see spoilers, by the way, from my reviews, where Batman gets up close and the Joker has a knife up his sleeve, and then he just hammers him, and it's just like boom, boom, in his stomach. And you gotta see it. You gotta see it to understand what I'm saying. But it's just stellar, man. It's amazing stuff. This is to me both. If you consider them as the same thing, because it's part 1 and part 2, this is the greatest direct to DVD release for any comic book superhero story there is, I think. I think it's better than any other DC's ever done. And they've done some really good ones. Marvel the Hulk verses were really good, and some of the other ones they've released were good as well. But this is just on so much of a different level. I mean, this is the type of thing that I would like to see in theaters. I really would. I wish that North America was like Japan, where when they have an anime or a cartoon movie come out, they actually put it in theaters. So, for example, next year when the next Dragon Ball Z movie comes out, animated movie, they will show it in theaters. Whereas here in North America, we don't get that. They don't do that. But for something like this, it's you put The Dark Knight Rises in theaters and it does so well. And then you have something like this that probably almost no one is going to watch. Nobody's going to check it out. And if I had to say which is better between the two, this destroys The Dark Knight Rises. I mean, destroys it. I'll watch this probably 5 to 10 times. Whereas The Dark Knight Rises, I only watched a few times, and to be honest, I'm already bored of it. But this is like, if I want to compare the two, if I had to pick which one's better, The Dark Knight Returns is so much better than The Dark Knight Rises. I mean, it's crazy. But that's just me, because I like cartoons. I like anime. I like that visual style. I think it's really, really cool, and the art in this is just beautiful. Also, you get the interactions between the different characters that you didn't get from, a movie like The Dark Knight Rises, where you have in this Superman, you have nukes going off, you have EMP blasts to knock out the power in the city. You have all kinds of different elements that just make this such an epic story that I can't believe they don't consider even trying to have a theater release for this. The only thing about this it'd have to be, I would imagine, an 18A or rated R type thing, because in this you have some scenes where, like, the Joker, for example, will be running away from Batman, and he's shooting around, he's causing all kinds of chaos, whatever. And then he just starts blasting people. it's like whoa, because you're used to, like, watching the Joker in animation in cartoon style. You have, like, Mark Hamill playing his voice, and he's running around, he's being silly, and people are smiling. Yeah, they're getting gas and all that stuff. But you don't have him stabbing people, and you don't have him shooting people. Whereas in this, it does not pull any punches at all. He's running through this carnival, and he's blasting people. You got guys on a date with his girlfriend. He's just like, boom, boom, boom. He's just shooting them, and they're just going down like crazy. It's like he's just on a killing spree, rampage, just a massacre, and they don't pull any punches at all. And then Batman gets so mad, he does something uncharacteristic of himself, which is he's just had enough of it, and he throws these batarangs. And when they hit the Joker, it's just like, oh my gosh, I gasped out loud, because one of them goes in his eyeball, like, boom, right in here, and the blood and everything. Oh, man, that's awesome. I don't want to spoil too much of the story, because if you guys haven't seen it, I know a lot of you probably haven't who are watching this review, go see it. Go watch it, as soon as you can. Definitely when it comes out on the 29th, or those of you who don't know how to use torrents, I would recommend go buy it. And even if you do watch it on torrent, go buy it anyway, man, because we got to support DC for putting out this kind of quality stuff. Marvel's not doing this. They're not doing anything even close to this. So, I mean, this is just stellar, man. Stellar. If I had to give it a score, I would give it a perfect 10 out of 10. I think it is absolutely perfect. There are a few little things here and there, like some of the voice acting at certain parts. I miss Kevin Conroy as Batman, Mark Hamill's the Joker. But, it feels okay, because this is an older version of Bruce Wayne and of Batman. This is not, him in his prime, him in his, his, like, let's say, late 20s, 30s, 40s, this kind of thing. He's old at this point. So, you don't have to have the same voice actor. The Joker is as well. So it makes sense to have totally new voice actors with totally new art style, because the way they draw Batman in this, he's not like your average Batman where he's kind of built. He's humongous. Like, he's like a bodybuilder, he's huge. Like, his shoulders and everything, his neck, he's just humongous. So when he punches through things, it's just it's so impressive, so amazing to see, and definitely something I think that's way better in anime than on paper. All right, so to go down a summary of the story, to give you a simple synopsis of what it is, essentially. It's the second part of the story, so if you haven't seen the first direct-to-DVD release, you should watch that first and then watch this after, although it's not absolutely necessary, but you probably would want to do that. You probably should. All the parts with the Joker in this from the beginning, essentially, the Joker sees Batman come back out of retirement, in part 1, and he immediately comes back to life. Without Batman, the Joker essentially is like in a mental institution, and he's just like comatose. So he's not interested in the world whatsoever. So with his obsession towards Batman, Batman comes back. So right away he thinks of a way to get out. He eventually does, of course, obviously. And the police actually see Batman as a threat now. There's a new police commissioner, and Yandel, and she essentially does not like Batman. She wants to take Batman down. So there's a scene on basically the Joker goes to do an appearance on a TV show, and with his psychologist or whatever. And they have the police all over the place and everything. But of course he's got a plan. So he's got the laughing gas that comes in and does the thing and kills everybody around. And he kills his psychiatrist with a cup, like he smashes his cup, freaking like slashes. It's brutal. So then after that, of course, the Joker gets away. Batman tries to stop him, but the police get in front of him and ruin his whole time. So you've got Batman, like beating the shit out of like so many police officers and everything in it. After which we get into the Joker doing what he does best, causing chaos, going to a carnival, doing all kinds of craziness. You know how it is. And I won't ruin any of the events that happen after that, but it has an amazing conclusion, absolutely amazing. And after that, we get Superman who comes into the picture. And in the end, we end up seeing, I don't want to give away too many details about the story, but Superman essentially is asked by the government to stop Batman. And Superman is put in the position where, Boy Scout, he's going to essentially do it because Bruce has, become a total vigilante and the government wants him, taken out, basically. So in the end, we see what I think is the best one-on-one fight in cartoons, period, ever. And it goes on for quite a while, too. I think it's like maybe 10 minutes of pure Superman versus Batman fighting. And it does not let down. Like, every single part of it's amazing. The fight ends up at the end just awesome. And essentially, there's something that happens at the end that was used as influence for the end of the Dark Knight Rises, which, again, I don't want to give away, but it's very similar to that. And, which one do I like better? It doesn't really matter too much. This was the original, so I guess I would go with this in terms of which ending I like better and which version of it I like better, because it's kind of stolen for the Dark Knight Rises. And then essentially we get a happy ending after all, or a fairly happy ending. But for me personally, this is my favorite cartoon I've ever seen. Both parts like put together in terms of like a cartoon movie. Not an ongoing series because those are different, completely different feel and everything. But in terms of like a cartoon movie, this is the best one I've ever seen. If you have not seen Batman: The Dark Knight Returns Part 1, go watch that first and then watch Part 2. You will not regret. This is not only a rent, this is a must-buy. For me, it gets a perfect 10 out of 10. Thought it was absolutely perfect and sets the bar, man. Come on, Marvel. Release some good stuff, please. Come on. You're killing me here. You're killing me. All right. That's pretty much all I got to say about it. As you can see, I'm a huge fanboy of the movie, but I can't see how anybody who likes DC, Batman, and Superman could watch this and not become a fanboy, because it lures you in and it shows you the best parts, like the things you always wish you could have seen in Batman the Animated Series or, a Batman story. It takes a lot of those elements and it stuffs it all into one, and what it has as a result is probably the greatest Batman animated anything ever to be made. At least, that's my opinion. That's pretty much all I got to say. If you guys have seen it, please feel free to write in the comments. If you have any questions or whatever, let me know. I'll try to comment a little bit, but I make a lot of videos, so we'll be moving on in a little bit. But anyway, it's amazing. Best animated movie ever. That's all I got to say. That's it for this video, guys. I'll see you for the next one. This is Trev, saying peace.